Sorry, I only do this once a year, so I'm a little rusty. All right, I'd like to call this meeting of the Litchfield School Board to order. If everyone could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we do anything so he could be, because Andrew had said.
I have the Google Meet set up. So for those who are watching at home, just to kind of put this together, this is the one meeting every single year that the superintendent actually starts because it's the new board year for people. We just had elections last week. So we're welcoming our new board member, Mr. Ray Peoples is joining us tonight. And as part of that process, we have to reorganize the board, so reappoint a chair and a vice chair and so on and so forth. So the superintendent runs the meeting to start. We have Google Meet up because Mr. Cutter is walking through the door right now, and we are good to go. So we didn't know if Mr. Cutter was going to be joining us remotely or was going to be able to make it back from travel in time. And it looks like, since he is coming in, he has made it back from his travel trip on time. Good evening, Mr. Cutter. So we just completed the pledge, so I'll ask the board, do we have any revisions to the agenda this evening? Hearing nothing. We'll go move on to reorganization. Like I said, welcome Mr. Peoples to the board. We're happy to have you here. Welcome back, Mr. Plansky, who also won re-election at voting last week. And at this time, I'll take nominations for the school board chair.
I will nominate Andrew Cutter for school board chair.
Second.
Any discussion?
Did you want to do that?
Are you guys sure?
Hey, I'm supposed to ask.
all of a sudden.
Right, I'm supposed to ask that. Mr. Cutter, if would you be willing to serve? If
It's the will of the board, right? So I'm honored to serve. I would just ask for the board's grace this year with work commitments and travel and things like that. So.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, I will take this to a vote. All in favor of Mr. Cutter being chair of the school board, please say aye.
Aye.
Nay?
I'll abstain.
Abstain? Excellent. Mr. Cutter, welcome
That
to be the chair.
401.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
And I will gladly pass this back over since I almost broke it.
I knew I was missing something.
And I will nominate Mr. Plansky for vice chair.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Shoemaker, second by Mr. Plansky. Are you willing to serve as vice chair?
I am.
Additional discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Aye.
That also carries 401. Welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right, we have the review of the Code of Ethics and Code of Conduct this evening.
Yeah, so this is the same that we go over at this meeting every year with the school board code of conduct and then the code of ethics. So we do ask the board to review it and sign it. We usually have you present it to you this evening and then ask you to sign it at the next school board meeting, so that allows time for the board to ask any questions or anything that may come along with it. I can certainly take any questions right now related to this or anything else. So.
It's all pretty standard from years past, but I would like to give Mr. Peoples an opportunity to review them if you haven't done so already.
When I did my onboarding on Monday, they gave me copies of both, and I've reviewed them already.
Okay, excellent. Or were there any questions or
Nope.
concerns, thoughts?
Very clear.
Okay, excellent. Is the board comfortable with approving those this evening?
I am.
Okay. Then we're good to sign those and approve it. Should I
All right.
make a motion for that? You want
Yeah,
a motion for those?
sure.
All right, I'll make a
If you
motion.
need one, it doesn't hurt, so.
I'll make a motion to approve the Code of Ethics and Code of Conduct for the next year.
Second.
Motion by myself, second by Mr. Shoemaker. Additional discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained? That carries 5-0. And we'll circulate those. Do you have those for signature tonight?
I did not bring hard copies. I
Okay,
thought we were going to do it
that's
next
All right, so we'll
meeting. So.
formally sign those.
Yeah.
All right, and we have the NHSBA training.
Yeah, just so a reminder, the New Hampshire School Board Association, just particularly for Mr. Peoples, who is new to the board, they have a new orientation. It's optional. You don't have to go, obviously, but they have new board member orientation, a couple different opportunities to do that. That link takes you to the site that shows you the times. There's April 7th, April 9th, it's in the evening and stuff like that if you're interested. I know, Mr. Peoples, you're pretty familiar with local government at this point, so, I think we talked before, you had served on the school board before?
No,
Just the
I
budget
never,
committee?
this is the only board I haven't served
Okay.
on.
So if you're interested, feel free to that. And the New Hampshire School Board Association, just in general, a reminder for the whole board, is a tool for us to use. What we most frequently use it is for policy, for example. A lot of our policies are using the sample policy from the New Hampshire School Board as the starting place for anything that we do. And they're a reference to us that we can ask questions for in regards to the governance of the board. It's for the board, it's for SAUs and districts to kind of utilize. So training opportunities, if anyone is interested, so.
Yeah, just on that, the School Board Association, their trainings are very well run. I have attended a few of myself. And the board, Mr. Peoples, just for your benefit, the board, a couple of years ago at this point, made the decision to, I'll say, overhaul our policies because there were so many different formats approved at various points in time, some of them 30 years old by the time. So we made the decision to align our policies as best as possible, right, to NHSBA as a starting point because of all their work in terms of like a basic framework of those policies. So the policies that you see throughout tonight and going forward generally are aligned to NHSBA as a starting point, and then we're adding in, as necessary, local flavor to those policies as relevant for Litchfield.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for that. We have committee assignments, everyone's favorite topic.
Yeah, so we have 25, 26 kind of window assignments that we had, just as a reference, so people know what their assignments were previously. I think last year we kind of, if we had someone, if it was easy, we decided it at this meeting. And for example, I think like at FIC, since 3 of you had been a part of it in a different capacity, we actually decided that one, finalized that one at the next meeting and just had some discussion. So if you're ready to tackle that, we can tackle that right now. Especially for ones that, or, you know, we can, Mr. Peoples, if you have any questions about the committee, the work that they're doing, one that you have interest in, we can answer those questions as well.
So, you know, Mr. Peoples, new to this board, are there any subcommittees that you're passionate about?
Well, I have been serving on the Facility Improvements Committee. And I definitely am interested in, and I talked with the superintendent the other day, I was in there on Monday about, I'm passionate to get our scores up and to get our grades up for our students, so whatever we can do to do that. I don't know where that fits into this matrix, but.
I think that's under budget.
Well, unfortunately, Matt, I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree with you on that. That money does not build better grades.
I think to answer your question, to committees that might be of interest to you, Mr. Peoples, is the Learning Outcomes Task Force, which we're on a little pause at the moment, picking back up next year, but that's going to look specifically at assessment and the models that we're using for that. As we mentioned, you've been at, from our previous mentions, we mentioned some tweaks to grading systems we've done for this school year and stuff. And then the Curriculum Review Committee, they met today. I think Dr. Taylor's going to give an update about it later. Talks about the decisions around the curriculum, things that we make, approval of documents, programs, so on and so forth, that comes along with it. So just if that's your interest, those are two committees that are relevant to those topics.
So, yeah, I would definitely be interested in those. Anything we can do to move that ball forward.
That's great. No, appreciate that. So, Mr. Shoemaker, because those are ones that.
We could have two board members on those if you want to stay for any of them.
Okay, so we'll do Mr. Peoples as primary, and for coverage, Mr. Shoemaker as secondary for those. Is anyone passionate about Budget Committee this year?
I really don't think anyone is as capable of budget.
I'll take it.
I can stay as backup.
You can see his backup on that one. Thank you. Okay. We have emergency management.
I'm fine staying on that. I tend to be able to make those meetings.
Okay,
I'll stay back up there too, Andy.
that's great. Thank you. Joint loss.
I'm on that. There was a meeting yesterday. I was not able to go to the meeting, but then there's supposed to also be a webinar kind of a thing. But I was on there and nobody was there, so I don't even know what happened, if Holly was back or not, to be quite honest.
That was, I think it was the previous week we had our meeting. The next one's in May, though. I'll make sure you get the
Okay.
invite.
Okay, so you're comfortable just staying on that for now?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. We have wellness.
I can stay on that.
Okay.
Got to get that cafe going.
Listen,
Jeez.
that's for my wellness, but problem is that doesn't actually meet ever, so.
We have the Town Capital Improvement Committee.
I'm comfortable staying there.
I can remain as backup.
Okay, great, thank you. We have Energy.
Is that even still meeting?
I have not attended a meeting in the last year.
Okay.
We can get rid of something, like,
I don't.
You can make a motion to get rid of
unless-
this committee.
Unless the town feels very strongly about having us on energy, I feel like we have a lot of work on our
yeah.
plate as it is.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I would make a motion to drop energy committee.
All right, we have a motion by Mr. Shoemaker to no longer be involved in the Energy Committee.
I'll second.
We have a second by Mr. Plansky. So just question, what was the original scope of the?
The original
objectives of the
scope
Energy Committee?
was to participate in the
Community energy.
community,
Community
yeah.
power.
Oh, community
Uh,
power.
Now, whether they're doing further work on that, I don't know. But the school is sort of outside of that in general, like our energy is separate from the community power thing, so it really was kind of like, I don't mind doing it as a goodwill if the town is asking us to, but other than that, I didn't see much of a value from this.
Do you know when they last met? I don't even
I
know if
have
it's
no idea.
met since I've been here, to be honest.
So that article passed 2 years ago, right? And then it just kind of stalled.
Well,
It's
it's
been a
because
disaster wherever they've tried it.
it's because
Rates are way high.
rates haven't been low enough for it to make sense for them to lock them, I think was where we had gotten.
So going through their website and any notes that I could find, that's essentially what happened is they passed it, they reviewed it, and they reviewed it over and over again, and it kept coming back with, doesn't make sense right now.
It's actually,
And
the
then
coalition's falling apart.
Yeah, it's like they haven't disbanded the coalition or anything, but I haven't seen it go anywhere.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of removing Energy Committee, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? It's gone, 5-0. Economic Development
That committee has completed its task, no longer exists.
no longer exists, so we'll just drop that one. And Policy, I'm fine on staying on as well, unless anyone else is interested in taking that on this year. Okay. Great.
Did
And
we,
then-
did we decide on FIC? Sorry.
I'm sorry, I thought you had said next week for
We can,
facilities.
yeah. That was my suggestion since a number of you
I do think,
are on it.
regardless, I do think Mr. DeWitt needs to stay on that, given the amount
I would
of
agree.
like, history he's had with that. So whoever is second on that, the will of the board, but
Just on facilities and why we're on that, when is that committee going to make recommendations on like public participation and community member participation? Wasn't that the idea that there was gonna be recommendations?
Yeah, we did
recommendations
it.
to our
I
school board?
think we are meeting next
The
week.
24th.
24th. And that would be, I gotta go and look at the bylaws we passed. I will
Okay.
Go recheck them because
We may have to reappoint people.
we have to reappoint, we do have to reappoint people.
Some people will 1
I
year.
think,
Right.
I wanna make sure I do the timing right, but I think we put in, we put out an interest form, or, I gotta read how we wrote it, exactly how it got passed, and then.
They have to submit in writing that they would like to be on the committee
Yeah,
to the school board.
it's by a date in April, if I remember, I think by like the first April meeting or something.
I don't
I'm doing this
remember
off
off the top of
memory,
my
so I
head.
gotta.
So we should just send out a reminder,
Yeah.
right? Make sure everyone's familiar on that committee with the bylaws and what the process is going to be.
has anyone expressed a desire to stop doing it now that things stalled out a little bit, or are they still committed? Or have you not?
You know,
had-
individual members?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, we've had some people who have not, their attendance has not been as high as previously, but I think
Yeah.
we dropped some of those people, because they stopped attending. There's rules about attendance to those meetings. We've scaled down the meetings just in general for the last couple months because of it. And we'll get to this later,
Yeah,
but,
the GMS update.
yeah, so we're meeting with them tomorrow, Harriman and Harvey, to go over a whole mess of things, preparation for that meeting,
Cool.
next week, and then kind of get that going back, that train going again, so.
Great. Okay.
Just crank through that.
Yeah. So we have, anything else on committee assignments?
Did we get all the committees? Did we miss anybody?
Well, who do we
We
want to
have-
have as
we-
a second?
We have
on
DeWitt
FIC?
as facilities. Do we want to nominate a second as a secondary at this point, or do you want to wait a week or 2 weeks to our next meeting?
Doesn't bother me. I could do either.
I don't know, Mr. Plansky, if you want to talk to Mr. Peoples about that one and work that one out. Or...
Well, because now there's three of us.
Right.
Correct.
Right, I know, I just wrote that down, I'm thinking, this is a problem.
Yeah, there can only be two,
I got run
right?
off
So
last
somebody's
year.
giving it up.
Yeah, we had the same thing last year. Matt had to leave. Yeah.
Yep. So
Still attended.
I figured we can just wait until next week. Or
But just make sure there's not three of you there at this meeting next week.
Right.
That's the only thing.
yeah.
Yeah. So if you can coordinate that amongst yourselves, we're good to go.
Okay.
We'll work it out.
So let's talk about the facilities at our next meeting as well. In terms of committee reports, just for the school board awareness, the budget committee is picking up their monthly cycle again starting next week. So I did receive Chairman Sun's agenda, and so I will plan to participate next week for that session. Okay, we have summary of non-public actions from February 4th, 2026. Mr. Shoemaker moved to approve the non-public minutes from January 21st as well as January 31st meetings. Mr. Plansky seconded that motion, and that motion passed 3-0. The board did discuss some staff updates, and Mr. Shoemaker moved to adjourn the non-public session at 8 o'clock. Mr. Plansky seconded that motion, and that motion also carried 3-0. We have summary of non-public actions from February 18th, 2026. The board tabled voting on the meeting minutes because there was lack of a quorum to vote for approvals at that session. Mr. Cutter moved to approve the nomination of Glenn Costello as a CHS Special Education Case Manager. Mr. Plansky seconded that motion. That motion passed 3-0. Mr. Cutter moved to adjourn the non-public session at 7:27 p.m. Mr. Plansky seconded that motion, and that motion also passed 3-0. We have summary of non-public actions from March 4th, 2026. The board tabled voting on those meeting minutes as well because of a lack of quorum to vote in support of, given various member absences. The board did discuss a staff update at that meeting, and Mr. Shoemaker moved to adjourn the non-public session at 8:07 p.m. Mr. Plansky seconded that motion, and that motion passed 3-0. We have presentations and recognitions this evening, and we have a senior spring social event that I believe was hosted this past weekend.
Yeah, so Brooke is kind of our backup student rep today, as our student reps are on a field trip. Yeah, on an overnight field trip.
Welcome
So-
again.
Thank you.
I'm going to have her do both things together.
Sure.
Just because she's also going to do the student rep report. So I think we're going to actually flip the order. She's going to do the student rep report first and
Yeah.
then the social, because that's how the slides are.
All right.
Okay.
And then give me 1 sec.
Yeah, no
Brooke will be
problem.
on right behind you. You are good.
So what we currently have happening in the district, so to start with Campbell, so spring sports are currently rolling out. Girls lacrosse tryouts in preseason will be held on March 23rd from 5 to 6:30 p.m. Boys lacrosse preseason starts at 4 p.m. on March 23rd, and softball and baseball preseason starts after school on March 23rd. For Campbell pass events, so we just got back from February break, and then following February break, we had a Spanish International Food Night. This is the second year this has happened, and it was a really great turnout. There was bingo, great like cultural foods to try. It was a really great turnout and a really great event. And then on March 10th, we didn't have school. It was because it was voting day. And then on March 11th, there was the district band concert. That went very well. I'm a part of the band, so it was just like fun to like have all the district be involved and like it's just a great like musical concert. And then on March 12th, following that, was the district chorus concert, and I've heard nothing but great things about that too. There were so many little GMS kids there, just like, and they have like an in-school rehearsal, so that was great too. And then March 14th was the senior spring social, which I'll get into after the report. And then following that is Campbell current events. So currently right now and tomorrow is the FBLA State Leadership Conference. That's an overnight conference that the FBLA goes on every year, and it's very exciting. And then starting up now that February break is over is prom ticket sales. March 18th, so today, we had our CHS Trades and Career Fair Day. That was huge, and that was like really amazing that they decided to bring that back because it gave kids like a lot of like exposure to careers and like trades that like they may be never even thought of to like pursue. And then on March 30th is the React movie night in the CHS auditorium, and then April 9th is the Campbell's musical performance Anastasia. For Campbell future events, April 16th is the dance troupe hold. April 24th is the blood drive. April 27th, we have spring break. May 6th is the National Honor Society bingo night. And then May 9th is prom. And then May 11th is the National English Honor Society book drive. Then for the Litchfield Middle School, the Winnie Dip was a huge success with over $11,000 raised for New Hampshire Special Olympics. LMS celebrated music in our schools this month by presenting a district-wide chorus and band concert. On March 24th, there will be a 5th grade beginner band concert at 6:30 p.m., and 3 of the LMS students auditioned for and were accepted into the 2026 Middle Level Honors Band Festival, and they played at Pinkerton Academy on March 9th. Following that, LMS cheerleading had their competition on March 7th at Hood Middle School, where they won the Spirit Award. Good job, LMS cheerleading. 8th graders made their school proud by participating in the NAEP testing on March 12th. Softball and baseball tryouts are coming up soon. And the drama department is hard at work on their upcoming production of the real-life story of Alice in Wonderland. Griffin Memorial, so the LEGO teams will take part in a LEGO League Expo this Saturday at First Robotics in Manchester. Next week is Read Across America week with theme days that include Monday wear a hat, Tuesday dress up as an animal, Wednesday wacky Wednesday, Thursday wear red, white, and black like a cat in the hat, and Friday is pajama day. So that is what I have on the report, and then following that is just a little presentation about the Senior Spring Social that we had on March 14th that was hosted by the Campbell Student Council. Like, this was probably like one of the best events that we've ran so far this year. So just kind of like to dive into it. So the Senior Spring Social started with a meal from the Puritan back room served by council members in the cafeteria. Members helped seniors carry food and drinks to their tables and then had friendly conversation with them. And then to follow that, we kind of break out into like a schedule that was kind of like the seniors could go wherever they felt like it. There was like different activities per different rooms in the school. So we utilized the gym, the library, the auditorium. So in the library, we had a game room and there was seniors playing games, puzzles, and bingo. Bingo was huge. I think every single person besides like a few were playing bingo. We ran out of chips. We were using candy pieces. We were using paper clips as chips. It was huge. Our guests loved playing together and winning prizes. We ended up giving centerpieces away as prizes because everybody loved them so much, and we didn't have anything to do with them afterwards. So we were like, hey, like let's just prize them off. So that was great. And then movies. Seniors got to watch classic movies in the Campbell Auditorium, and then council members welcomed them and served popcorn while they watched, which was very enjoyable. And then in the gym, we had Dancing Through the Decades. Seniors got to dance their favorite songs from different decades in the Campbell gym. Council members danced along with them and encouraged them on the dance floor. This was definitely the energy room. And it was super fun to just see council members like engage with everybody, and like they would have dancing circles and like slow dances together. It was great. And then a huge thank you to everybody who attended this event. The turnout was amazing. We had over 100 people attend, and it truly just brought cheer to our council and our community as well. So yeah, that's all I have.
So Diane and I went to that, because at the time we were the only ones who qualified to. Now that Mr. Peoples has joined the board, expect to see him next year.
Well, unfortunately, I was at the church for the corned beef and cabbage dinner
okay.
that they had exactly opposite of that, cooking all day.
So it was, but it was a great event.
Yeah.
I will say that, and I talked to Jen and Sean afterwards, every kid that was there working the event was super happy to be there. There wasn't anybody who was looking like, God, I really don't want to be here on a Saturday. It was a fantastic time. And we brought my granddaughter, who dressed up as an old lady.
I think she's featured in that last slide there. Yeah, it's great.
But it was a super time, really.
Thank
Very
you.
much appreciated.
Thank you.
Yeah, I heard it was awesome. Miss Mitchinson was texting me updates the whole time. And just so pleased with how the turnout was, your guys' organization. Tell us a little bit how you got the funding for this a little bit. I don't know if we ever touched base on that.
Yeah, so the way we got the funding was there's a National Association of Student Councils, and they kind of send like updates to the student councils like within our country, and you have to like sign up within their like website. So our council signed up through them and like verified, and we got an update that back in November that said like deadline is about to close, apply for a national grant. And we saw this opportunity, and we came here and we met with Kim Kleiner to kind of discuss like where in our town, like what needs like community, like where we could put a grant towards. And we like kind of targeted towards the senior citizens. Like obviously, like we don't have a senior center in the town, so we
Not
kind
super
of like,
seniors, just lower level seniors.
the 55 and older. And we kind of just came up with the idea, like sitting right here in this room, like, hey, like what if we just had a day where we kind of simulated like activities that a senior center would hold. And so we ended up applying for the grant. We applied for $1,000, and the deadline was like December 8th. And then we heard back in early January that we were awarded the $1,000. So we were able to put this money towards this huge event, and I couldn't be happier with the turnout and how well it went.
It was packed.
It's awesome.
Thanks.
That's a great event. The question is how do you keep it up?
I was just gonna ask that, because I mean, ultimately, like, that's one of the biggest things that we've talked about on, like, dealing with facilities is, you know, it's hard for people to want to put their tax dollars behind something if they don't necessarily get use out of it. And the turnout here is encouraging to think that maybe we could support our senior population a little bit more by doing more stuff like this.
I mean, I would imagine we're going to apply for the grant. I know you're graduating, but
Yeah.
we'll apply for the grant next year, be able to speak of the success of this program, which I think, knowing how these things work, will help us, you know, hopefully get it again, and then expand the program kind of year after year. And if, you know, with such a positive turnout, if we have student activity funds money, which you spend on students, but this is students giving back to the community, so it fits that kind of description. So if we have to help out and supplement it a little bit, if this continues to grow, I think we would have been happy with, I don't know, 20 people, but over 100
I
was.
think even if 3 people turned
Yeah.
up, like we would have been happy as can
I know
be.
Danny was very nervous that there was like, nobody's gonna show up.
Yeah.
But I mean, over 100, like we could not be more grateful. So it was really great. And as people were leaving, they were like, "Is this going to be here next year? We're so excited!" We're like $1,000.
And it was good.
Great.
The Puritan helped us out, like they gave us a good deal on the food and stuff like that.
They're
so.
really good about like nonprofits and stuff like that. I think they gave us like a whole chicken thing for free, which those are very expensive,
And
to say
tasty.
the least.
So it was very well done. But
And I just want to give a shout out to, I know you had mentioned, Brooke, the band and chorus concerts,
Yeah.
et cetera. I believe the superintendent, and I think Mr. Plansky attended the
I
band.
went to the
Yep.
band concert too, yeah, on
Yep.
Yeah.
Friday.
Excellent. I've heard nothing to your point about amazing positive remarks about that, so kudos to you who participates
you.
in that. I joined the chorus concert, and
Can't
that
wait
was
to hear you.
that was amazing. I actually sent the video to the board. Right, I sent a couple of minute video to the board so they could hear it as well. And there's just, you know, super plug. There's such amazing talent in this
Yeah,
district,
so many
and to
talented.
see all those kids. There had to have been at least a quarter of our population of kids participating in that.
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of kids.
yeah. And then does band go to large group this weekend too?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
band and chorus are going to large group this weekend. I think chorus performs at 10. This is at Bow High School. We go and get like judged by like professional judges and stuff like that, both the band and the chorus. Chorus goes at 10 and then band goes at 2. So we're all kind of preparing for that now. We're just going to perform to them like our concert, like what we played at the concert. We kind of just switch into gear and play for them as well. So very
Well, good luck with that.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
best wishes.
Appreciate it.
Best wishes. Any questions on events happening in our schools? I'd say the only other thing I want to mention is congratulations once again to LMS and the Winnie
Yeah.
Dip. I mean, such an amazing, amazing feat in raising that kind of money for that cause. So
I'm glad we were able to do it. That was the morning that we had to call it delays. So I'm glad the weather cleared up enough for us to get the bus, you know, in. We had to get the kids in early, even ahead of the delay, and we got them all up there. Because that goes on no matter what, no matter what the weather is. I think we made the front page of it.
Of the Laconia paper,
Yeah,
yeah.
Laconia
It's a bunch
paper.
of Litchfield kids
Yeah.
running out of the water.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, so it was a great event.
all right, excellent. Well, thank you for that update and thank you
Yeah.
for joining us again tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah. We have our community comment on agenda items. This is our first of 2 community comments. Please, welcome. And just your name and address for the record.
Yeah, Mike Parker, 12 Nesmith Court, and I'm here to pile on about the senior spring.
Amazing.
You know, when I first heard about it, I thought it was for seniors in high school. I really did, and somebody said, no, it's for seniors. I just appreciate it. It was very, very well done, and the people that I talked to there enjoyed it as well, and so thank you for that, and thank you for recognizing the seniors. A couple things that stand out. First of all, you had some sort of an art show in the
Yes,
school.
yes.
And we really enjoyed looking at those pictures from the grade schoolers that were up on there. So that was kind of an added benefit, wandering the hallways there. I was impressed with the number of people that were there, because I know there are a number of people that were there who don't have access to Facebook and the internet. Now, I know that there were students handing out these flyers at the town meeting, but I applaud you for that and getting the word out, because I think that's a big challenge here in Litchfield, is getting the word out to people who aren't connected on Facebook or some other social media. So I appreciate that. But in talking to folks, it also shows a need in town for a senior center. So I'm just going to put that plug in here.
You're at the wrong board for that.
I know all y'all don't deal with senior center, but we ought to plant the bug in somebody's ear about that, because I think that's important. And again, it builds a sense of community, especially for people who aren't connected through the social media and whatever. So anyway, but thanks for a job well done. We enjoyed ourselves. We're looking forward to it. Whenever we can do it again, it'll be good. And it was great, Chow.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate the comments. All right, since there's nobody else in the audience tonight, we'll close community comment. If anyone else shows up, there's a second opportunity for community comment as we proceed with tonight's agenda. All right, we have correspondence this evening, and I'll turn it over to Vice Chair Plansky for a summary.
Okay, on March 4th, we got the meeting minutes from the March 3rd meeting from Jan Sullivan. On the 9th, Jen sent out the picture of the Laconia Sun with the kids running through the cold water, crazy kids. And then mostly a lot of bills being paid on 3/10, and had a payroll manifest. On the 12th, 2 accounts payable manifests. On the 13th, credit card manifests. Also on the 13th, we got the budget for tonight's meeting, and then on St. Patrick's Day, Renee was kind enough to send out 2 more accounts payable manifests.
Speaking of manifests, we have them for signature?
Also,
Oh, they're all signed. Perfect. I love that. All right, thank you, sir. Appreciate that update. We'll move into general business this evening, and we're going to turn it over to Mr. Peoples.
Yeah, we left this here.
There we go. Switch. I like it. Yep, that's smart.
So I'm feeling rather special tonight.
I am too.
doesn't mean you get 2 votes though, right?
What's that?
You don't get 2 votes.
I knew there was a problem with this.
Mr. Peoples, I hope you don't mind we left this on the agenda.
What? No, actually, I think it's still good that, you know, of course, hopefully we'll be communicating that more real time, but.
Yeah.
Concord's kind of quiet this week. We're not up there for session. We were up there on Wednesday and Thursday last week. Wednesday was 13 hours, and or I'm sorry, yeah, Wednesday was 13 hours, and Thursday was about 9 hours. And ultimately, we started on a pretty rough patch because we had 200 bills to process, and we couldn't get an extension to move into this week, Thursday and Friday, or Wednesday and Thursday like we wanted. They limited to PIs only, so there was no floor debates on most of the bills, and we got through what we could, and approximately 75 of the bills went in the dumpster. So all the work, all the public hearings,
Out the window.
out the window.
Wow.
Yep. So I'm gonna prepare a narrative of what was approved, and it's all gonna go over to the Senate at the end of the month. And, at crossover day, all the stuff they've approved comes over to us, and then we start the whole process again on their stuff, and our stuff goes to them, and they do the same. So,
Any of the items that we've been kind of talking about and asking about, did any of those end up passing? I know we've been talking about, like, as an example, the consolidation of SAUs.
yeah, that didn't go anywhere. I don't believe that's.
What about the open enrollment piece?
Open
Open
enrollment.
enrollment's still open, they're still working on that. I think it's over in the Senate. So once they get done with that stuff, so they're hearing a lot of the same bills over there, so they all get heard twice. So there's a lot of eyes on it. Again, I'll prepare a quick report of what happened last week for you guys, cause there was a lot. Approximately 125 bills we got through. Some got tabled, But for the most part, they all got dealt with, other than the 75 that were left, that went in the dumpster. Which is really a shame, because there was a terribly embarrassing act of partisanship up there between the two parties. And just goes to show you again that without working together, we're never gonna get anything done. And, I did put a post up on Facebook to that effect. It was terrible. I mean, all they had to do was grant us an extension that we could do it. And the word came back, bad bill management isn't our problem. So at that point, we had to reduce it to, the PI only. So basically, that's the parliamentary inquiry. It's very short. And move on and vote and move on. So it was, not the way I seen it playing out, but it's how it happened.
Okay. We had our legislative day yesterday as well up in Concord, so the second that we do 2 a year. Sarah and Julie went to the first one, and then I went to the one yesterday. Gave us some updates on some of the different bills. Just want to say that this is super helpful, because I understood everything going on, because we had talked about almost everything here at some point.
Yeah.
So this is a great little process that we're doing. When we were up there, we were talking about how people are struggling to talk to their representatives, and to just have, I know you're on the board now, but prior to that, just coming to the meetings and have these conversations. We can talk about these things and kind of ask questions, and you can bring that feedback back, tell us things, and we can think about it and stuff and kind of work together. So it was nice to sit there yesterday as everything was going over and not be caught off guard by anything, because we're having these conversations and stuff.
It's almost the way government should work, right?
I know, it's great. It's great.
That's a crazy thought.
Hell of a concept. And for myself, being here on the board, my reason for being on this board is to get from down in the bug dust to the governor's butt view of what's going on with education funding, policy, and administration, so that I can make intelligent and thoughtful decisions rather than, something that may cause us harm in the end.
I think that's super helpful, because honestly, sometimes when you were bringing stuff back, it was really good to be able to see when we were talking about the stuff with the reporting. Mm-hmm. It'll be really helpful to know in the weeds what we're dealing with the reporting side, because then it's okay, there's no intention to make things harder, obviously at the state level, but you don't, unless you have those conversations.
And we took that feedback and we amended that, so now it's one sheet of paper with 3 graphs on it. It's spelled out very clearly on 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper instead of 18 by 24 at $25 from Staples. So, that was good for us because it saves us money, and it's good for the consumer of that information out there, that they can see it and understand it. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Hopefully other towns will, follow suit, because I think that collectively, if that was happening across the state, there could be some really drastic improvements.
It's all about the middle. We gotta move everybody to the middle. So if you can shepherd them there, have at it.
All right, well, we'll look forward to your summary, Mr. Peoples. We have end-of-year teacher staff recognition ceremony.
I just want to go back to voting day results.
Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped over voting day results.
It's okay. Look, we passed everything. I want to go back to voting day results.
Yeah.
So, we were very fortunate for the support we received from the community that all 8 of the school districts' warrant articles passed this past Tuesday. First, I just want to say thank you to everyone in the Litchfield community who came out and voted. Even if you didn't necessarily vote yes for things, just coming out to vote. That's at the core of what we do in education, is getting people educated and so they can voice their opinions and democracy and all that stuff. So just coming out to vote is an indicator that good things are happening in education. Thank you for those who supported our warrant articles. We appreciate it greatly. A lot of work from our teachers and support staffs who start the developing the process, bring it to building letter leaders, to us at the SAU, bring it to the board and to the budget committees. A lot of work goes into those budgets. And it's nice when that work can kind of pay off and we get approval on the things that we're bringing. For us, having the operating budget pass I can't stress enough how helpful it is, because we've been really trying to put things in the right places in our budget lines and making things straightforward and not having to transfer as much and shift things around, but just get it where we all need it to be, so it's easier to track, it's easier to stay on top of everything. So that reset and allowing us to do that is extremely helpful from an operations standpoint. Plus of the services that are in the operating budget, obviously. Very, very supportive, and thank you to everyone who supported it and came out and voted. It was a wonderful day. I had the opportunity, talked to a number of people, held some dogs outside while people came in and voted, a bunch of different things. I think we got great word out, again, about the senior social and stuff like that. So very nice day in the district, and once again, thank you to everybody, and thank you to the board for all your work to get everything done and stuff, so.
Yeah, and just on that, if I may as well, I'd like to share my gratitude to the Litchfield voters for supporting the schools, as well as many of the town articles too. So, but certainly the schools, you know, as the superintendent mentioned, having that operating budget really enables us to not have to make some very difficult decisions, which were going to be a topic of tonight's meeting.
Yeah.
Right. So, thank
Well,
you.
and additionally, approving our funding of our reserve accounts is huge, because
Reserve
that
accounts,
really
teacher
enables us
contracts.
to continue to deliver efficient
Yes.
budgets, because
Yes.
we have the reserves to hedge against things. Whereas in prior years, we had to, because we didn't have the reserves, had to put money in the budget because we couldn't avoid certain risks, so.
And I get the feeling that people are more appreciative of the fact that we're much more upfront with what we're gonna do with that money, and we're parking it someplace, so it's not, everything isn't a fire.
And we're doing what we
fire
say.
drill. Yeah.
Right. We're doing what we say.
So that's good. So right now, different than last year when we were trying to get everything back to a default with the operating passing. A lot of Julie's work, you know, we're helping her with this, is getting everything up to speed and loaded up into the system. The contract passed as well, so making sure everything is in the right lines attached to that. Different salaries, Social Security, retirement, all the different components of that, getting everything squared away with the new budget, so it's all good, and sending that off. I don't want to take too much of Julie's stuff that's coming up, but sending that off to the DRA and everything associated with that. So thank you again for everyone's support for that.
Any other comments on voting day results?
I would just like to thank the voters for sending me back here. Very much appreciated.
We're glad to have you back.
Damn.
I too am grateful.
Now, you guys did face stiff competition. So.
That was tough.
Andrew, do you wanna tell them, like you did for me, how many people didn't vote for them? Do you
Yeah.
remember that you did that on my first meeting? That was really cool.
I do see there were 22 write-in votes, though.
There were how many?
22.
22.
All right. We have now end of year teacher and staff recognition.
Yes, so I think he caught a number of our years, but as we were at voting day on Tuesday, you know, Chief Bobby Jakes was out with the veterans supporting the warrant article directly tied to them. And he got my ear about something that happened in the Lowell School District. That's where he and his wife taught professionally, about how they would recognize teachers and staff at the end of the year, and asked if we do anything like that here. And I was like, well, we didn't last year. You know, we do a retirement thing when people retire, and I'm sure buildings do their own thing internally at the end of the year staff meetings, but like a district thing, no, like how he was describing how Lowell does it. So we got to talking a little bit. I think he got, again, some other people's ears about it as well. And he said that the Veterans Committee would support us if we wanted to pursue that endeavor, and I want to. So I'm bringing that to the board this evening to see if I have your approval to do that with the support of the Veterans Committee. What we're kind of envisioning, we're in the early stages of putting it together, but recognizing some excellence of our teachers at each of the buildings, our support staff, and other staff at the buildings as well. Having a nice night, just nothing too fancy, but in the cafeteria maybe. We talked about they don't know this yet, but dragging Stuco in and helping with the evening and stuff like that.
You know they can throw a pretty
They
good
can run the
event.
parties.
Right, exactly.
Especially for seniors.
Yeah, exactly. And kind of doing that as a nice cap to the year where we recognize some of our hardworking staff. So
It's a great idea.
we would do that. Funding would come from the Veterans Association. I mean, if there's a couple minimal things that we would do as a district, we would do that as part of our normal recognitions. But I want the board's blessing if you're okay with us kind of moving forward with that idea.
Absolutely. I'll make a motion to absolutely celebrate our hardworking district staff, both teachers and support staff, for recognition that's well deserved at the end of the year.
Second.
Motion by myself, second by Mr. Shoemaker. Additional discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? And special thank you to Chief Jacques, who I know has been a huge voice and advocate for us as a school district, starting this program up, and very much appreciative of the veterans for supporting this.
Yeah, so I'm gonna, I don't have we're good with that one.
We're good.
I have a couple other things on my agenda I actually didn't add that I just want to highlight because they're quick hitters. And one, we're just thanking the Veterans Association. So they're running, I want to kind of highlight another event. I've highlighted it in our Sunday newsletter a couple times, but it's the first board meeting I've had a chance to talk about it a little bit. The Veterans Committee is hosting their second annual Litchfield Night, Little Town Big Attitude with the Fisher Cats. They did this last July as well, where it's hosted by the Litchfield Veterans Group. Some of the proceeds go towards scholarships for the schools and stuff like that. Their scholarship program offsetting some different costs and donations that they give to us here in the school, among other things that the veteran group does in the community, but a lot of it does support the schools. It's going to be Saturday, July 11th. We've been sending out the link to the tickets as part of that Sunday newsletter, but again, just want to highlight it tonight. Ticket sales are ongoing. You don't have to necessarily buy them. I know the games in a couple months and stuff like that. People can see where their schedules land. But if we can continue to support that they do so much for the school district, and if people have the opportunity to go to the game, they are playing the Sea Dogs, which is always nice. You get to see the future Red Sox too play as well. So should be another great night.
And just on that, right, I mean, the chief has spoken to me about this as well, right? We're really looking to get more participation this year than there was last year. Last year was the first year for this, right? But definitely looking for more people to join. Have a fun night at the Fisher Cats. Game starts at just past 6 o'clock, right?
6:03.
6:03. Yep, 6:03. Thank you. There's going to be a big fireworks show. Kids can go on the field. The seats are right behind home plate, so really premium seating for this game. And really looking forward to the Litchfield school community coming out and supporting this program.
And then just two other small things. I'm pretty, I don't know why, but I'm kind of high school centric today. Just a couple things going on at that building. One, we had, Brooke touched on it in the report, but we had the first career expo today at the high school. The school counseling department organized that with some support from some other teachers. It was I don't know if it was the first ever, but it's been the first in a long time. And it was an excellent event. We had a number of different professions there, the branches of the military, some of the colleges also were there, local colleges, community colleges, to help with that. And it allowed opportunities. I was down there for actually a great bulk of it. Freshmen and sophomores came down first, and then they shifted them out, and then the juniors and seniors came down. The kids were so interactive with the people who attended. It was great, like asking good questions, learning about the various careers that were being presented. We had like HVAC and hospital and cosmetology and a bunch of other different things. A number of people in the community came and spoke, or had tables set up and stuff like that. So thank you to our community members who gave up some time during their professional day to take part in this today. And I hope this is the start of this event being an annual thing, kind of moving forward and expanding year after year, because it was really, really successful today. So kudos to everyone who helped make that a success. So.
Was there anyone there from the CT program?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Both Pinkerton and Hudson. Yeah.
Perfect.
So. And then the last thing I just want to highlight, it's actually literally happening right now, but we're here at the board meeting, unfortunately. We're doing an art show tonight at the high school, but the art is up all month in the high school, and it's artwork ranging from elementary through high school. I'm sure if you've been in the building, you've seen some of it. Some people came and saw it during voting, and we've been kind of expanding it as kind of the month goes on. I'm not just saying this because I'm the superintendent here, but this is like the best art I've ever seen, like in a school. Like, it is incredible right now.
Yeah.
I know Campbell kind of has a reputation as being like an athletic school, a sports school, and warranted, we have a lot of success in athletics, but we might be an art school now, or an art district. Like, what is some of the work that's being produced is just incredible, K through 12. Like, and seeing the progression through the different ages and how kids are exploring different mediums and how their skills are improving as they get older and stuff like that. If you have the opportunity just to swing by the school and kind of check it out this month, I really encourage you to do so. Like, we have more art than room at this point. Like, we're going up stairwells and going down random halls. It is really, really impressive what our art department in all three schools are doing and the work that our kids are doing. So I just want to highlight that. They're doing a formal show right now for Art Honor Society at the high school, a small opening of it right now. But if you get a chance to kind of check it out at some point, please do, because it's really impressive. And that's it.
Thank you. Appreciate that update. Any questions for the superintendent? All right, this is Mr. Darling. You're up.
Thank you. Also, I want to, echo everyone else's sentiments in saying thank you to the residents for voting on our operating budget and supporting the rest of our warrant articles. It's very helpful for us to be functioning in a healthy way. Right now is the time of year that we're starting to hone in on having a better idea of where we're going to land at the end of the year. So at the end of the month, we are going to, start only just doing essential spending, which is what we typically do, but also for each department to start adjusting their encumbrances, so we just have a much clearer picture of where we're at. So that's what we're doing currently. One thing I wanted to discuss with regard to the FY27 budget is similar to what the superintendent was indicating as far as having things be in the correct lines. At deliberative session this year, there was a vote on the floor to add $9,600 to the budget, with the intent of that being to increase the supply line for the high school robotics team. Because it's a bottom line budget, we basically just have to put that $9,600 in as a placeholder in the budget, but then it is up to, it's the will of the board as far as where you would like that money to be put into the budget. So transfer that into the line that it was intended. So if that is what you would like to do.
That is absolutely what I would like to do. Will of the board. I mean, it was made for that purpose. The voters at deliberative supported it for that purpose. It needs to be for that purpose.
Agreed.
Agreed?
Okay.
There we go.
All right.
We
Can I
need
have
a
Motion.
little
Need a
vote.
motion?
We need a vote for that one.
All these
transfer that.
technicalities. I'll make a motion to transfer $9,600 from the bottom line to CHS Robotics.
Second.
Motion by myself, second by everybody else. You pick. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? 5-0.
Thank you.
May I since we're bringing up robotics, they had their competition this past weekend over at Bedford High. Excellent showing from them. They qualified as, I don't know how much you know about the robotics world, but they qualified as a captain, like after the qualifying rounds. It's the first time that our program has done that. Means you finish in like the top 6 in the initial qualifying rounds, and then you get to pick other teams to join your alliance and so on and so forth. So that's a huge kind of milestone for the program to be qualifying in that top group and being an alliance captain moving forward in the program. They didn't end up winning the event, which is unfortunate, but still awesome that they got that chance, and they're just kind of improving their stance every single year that program grows and stuff like that. So this is very, very supportive to that program that is having more and more success every year. So
Congratulations to the team.
yeah, it's great.
One thing I've added that came in kind of last minute, but is very nice. So our food service director, Lauren Crowley, had entered an equipment giveaway from Cooks Direct, which is a national vendor. And basically, as a result of just entering this contest, which just required like the name of the district, things like that, there was no purchase or anything necessary to qualify for this contest. But Lauren was notified this week that she won a mixer. It's a planetary mixer, so it's like the big industrial ones that she already has. Its retail value is over $8,000.
Wow.
And so that is going to be shipped in a couple of weeks, but prior to confirming that, we just needed to have school board approval
I will
of
make
that
a
donation.
motion to accept that. I can't believe she's not here, so we can see her smiling face.
I know,
That's
it's
a
very
huge- that's a
exciting. It
huge-
is.
It's a huge deal.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will second.
So motion by Mr. Shoemaker, second by Mr. DeWitt on acceptance of the mixer. Thank you to Ms. Crowley for putting that application in, and thank you for all your hard work as you do every day. All right, all those in favor of supporting the mixer, please say aye. Aye. Opposed?
And can I
5-0.
take Lauren to buy my Powerball tickets?
Yes, exactly. I think she's got the luck. And she actually just let me know that she entered another promotion today with another one of our national vendors that essentially would clear all of the district meal debt.
Hey, now.
Yeah, that's-
Now we're talking.
Meal debt is unpaid meals, not underspend.
Yes.
Thank you for clarifying.
To be clear.
Still.
Still, it's
So we will
helpful.
see.
Yeah.
Yes. absolutely. With regard to solar, I did touch base with Kay from Dynamic Grid, and she said that they are looking at a mid-April date to do the site work over at LMS. So, of course, we need to know that ahead of time. What the exact dates are. She said she's looking for like a Friday and Saturday. so
School
that-
vacation week is
Yeah,
great at this
That would be a
point.
great week.
Correct. So I will firm that up with her. We're also working with KW Management, which is the commissioning company, to coordinate that. With regard to, I did ask about the battery shipment. She said that Toshiba currently is anticipating a May ship date from Japan, and then it's about a 6-week period before it actually arrives to Maine, where her facility is. So she said that she anticipates all of the preliminary work that her team needs to do to be completed when the batteries arrive. So the only thing they'll need to do is the final assembly and then some testing exercises. I did inquire and haven't heard back quite yet as far as what is the timeline on that, all of those pieces. So as soon as I hear back, I will certainly report that out. I also asked about the energy production. We saw that big lull from, I think it was January 17th until like March 9th. And I assumed it was because of the snow cover on the panels, and she did confirm that all the equipment is properly working. And at this point, things are back up and running and resuming, and the building load is now being covered by the array, and it is exporting to the grid.
Okay. That's what you want.
Yes,
Right.
yes, that is what
I think what you ultimately want is
But we're still
powering
not
our
seeing,
batteries that aren't there, but,
I guess with that, we're still not seeing the benefits of it, right? Because we're still in the contract price.
Well, so that was gonna be my question as well, right? So when does year one of the contract kick in? Wasn't it in July, if I recall?
It depends on when that battery is done. So it kicks in at the beginning of the next fiscal year after the battery is built.
Right, so if the
So if it's
batteries,
built in June, and it's all done in June,
built or installed.
installed, like all done,
Operating,
done,
has to be
done.
operating.
Everything is done.
but the
Yeah.
probability of that is low, right? Because it's a shipment of May, 6 weeks, they've gotta get it here, install it, so this is going to be in July or
August.
August. So that allows us the opportunity in the budget process to do anything if we need to do, or whatever we've talked about in the past, reserve, set up a reserve fund for around solar and stuff like that. So that's the agreement, that we need a full fiscal year to make those decisions. It can't just be a snap of the finger and go forward. So.
Okay.
I was gonna say, and just to clarify, that's when the batteries get to the facility in Maine to be installed into the container and then tested, and then that's gonna get here.
Correct.
So.
And that's only gonna, just speaking for myself, I guess, I would not install that battery until after the school year is ended.
Oh, yeah.
Regardless, I don't want kids in the building when that thing's getting installed. Like, just, site work, okay, you putting some concrete down, bridge that around school vacation, whatever the case may be. I don't know how this stuff works. I don't want kids in the building when that thing is getting installed.
It's not explosive.
That's what I'm told. It's just,
Until it
that-
Dan, could you, do you have a specification on the batteries? Do you have the spec sheets on those?
I have their design from Kay. I don't know if she actually called out the specific module. on
We have the
it.
information,
I
we
can
can show
take a
you.
look, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just curious about like the cycle life and stuff,
Yeah.
how many cycles that are good for, and that's gonna be the real determining factor, I think, in the end.
I'm sure we have some light reading for you if you're.
That's good, I actually like the technical light rating.
Yeah, and just on solar, I know the board has talked about this prior, but, as the system now depreciates and ages, right, it's been up there now for a couple of years, right? There will be items that start to fail, right? And we as a district need to keep that system operational. And as we've learned, some of these replacement costs can be quite expensive for all the connectivity parts and things that make that system operational. So just something to keep in mind as time progresses, right? This system is now depreciating, continuing to depreciate, and there's going to be maintenance involved behind it.
You own the power plant, so, yeah.
That's it. That's it. And some of those components of that power plant, so to speak, are 10 grand plus.
Yeah.
Right, and we know that, so.
20,000 plus life cycle, charging
20,000
cycles.
cycles?
Yeah.
It's interesting, yeah. It's pretty good.
All right, next thing I had, so.
Thank you.
After the election each year, there are certain forms that need to be uploaded to the DRA portal. One of those is the MS-22, which is the voted appropriations. So I do have a copy of that for signatures. Actually, it requires your signature as well.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll circulate that as we progress.
Thank you. And I also attached the certified counts and ballot minutes, which is something that also gets uploaded in case anyone wanted to see a breakdown of the votes. And then the last thing I had was the end of year expenditures. We have started compiling a list of items that we might be looking to seek approval for any end of the year funds to be encumbered. So we have started that list, and certainly if there's anything that you would like us to add to that list, we can look
I'm
into
gonna
that.
look over Mr. Plansky's shoulder here.
I think something we want to do is prioritize what are our priorities, right? Like, my personal priority, again, this is a discussion with the board, is the LMS parking lot, right? Like, once we have that quote completely sound, because we went back to get additional information on the original quote that we got. But now we may not have enough money, because that could be a $400,000 project, right? And we may not have that money when you factor in the warrants that we have to take from end of the year funding and stuff like that. But we should start, it should be the board prioritizing what they think we need to spend our focus on. Next meeting, just to give you a preview, one of the things that the high school team is going to be here to talk a little bit about is a district van, because there can be that might be something we want to look at, because there's potential savings for us, actually, if we pursue something like that. Cuts down on transportation costs for smaller athletic teams, smaller academic programming that we do. Instead of getting a bus, you take the district van and stuff like that. So that might be something that's good for an end of the year encumbrance and stuff. So if the board can start thinking about, these are ideas, is this spreadsheet, nothing here is concrete, as in like 100, this is no particular order, it's as we think of it. But if there are things that pop into your heads, please add it. We have to put in the stuff from capital improvement plan as well,
Yes.
that we designated as possible end of the year stuff as well. And so this is going to be an ongoing discussion for us kind of moving forward.
Do we still have items from the auditorium that are needing to be addressed?
Yes, I put those underneath in the bottom, because I don't think that Ms. Mitchinson has had a chance to go through those yet.
I just remembered that.
One of the items that we talked about years ago that is still kind of in the back of my head is the speaker system in the auditorium.
Yeah.
That is one thing.
what we have now.
Yeah, so, and also painting, like I know last year the board approved an encumbrance of $8,000 for district painting.
Yeah.
I'd like to continue that,
Yep.
right? I don't know what that project is, but something that we should continue
Yes.
in terms of maintenance of the schools, right? Some of that painting's original, if we think about Campbell as an example. And also, I know the superintendent and I have talked about like the gym floors and repairs and things like that.
It's part of previewing next week. Tony's got an idea he's going to bounce off of you guys, not next week, next meeting. That's something he's been working on, looking at gym floors and stuff, possible opportunity there. So.
But even at LMS as well, right? So definitely things that are items that the board have talked about in the past that want to make sure we're staying on focus.
We're still waiting for
And Campbell
quotes
High School
on the-
mirrors.
Yeah, bathroom mirrors. You mentioned that, David.
We're still
Yeah.
waiting for quotes or information on the paving stuff.
Yeah.
The other is, with regard to the paving, is if we reactivate the old soccer field at LMS, that may come into play there too, right?
Yeah. So because that was a task from the FIC as well. So I talked to Dave and Tony about it a little bit. Dave has real concerns, because it is the leach field for the district, what work we can do on it, right? Like, you can be on it, but you're limited on some of the I won't go as far as say construction, but you want to be careful on like,
Heavy equipment.
yeah, exactly what you're doing and stuff like that.
But, I mean, you can put a bigger lawn tractor on there, right? Like, you could put a Kubota on that.
Yeah.
That's, you can generally drive a car across it, just it shouldn't sit on it. So, I mean, if we're talking about grading, and resodding, I don't see that equipment exceeding that for a leach field.
Landscaping equipment, not construction
Yeah.
equipment, yeah.
But
Well, as long as we let whoever's doing it know that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that. This is the stuff that needs to be figured out. But yeah. Because the other thing I was gonna say is that in the operating budget, right, you guys had line items in there for maintenance and kind of tweaks and stuff into the schools anyway that normally wasn't. So I just want to make sure that whatever we have in the end of the year encumbrances wasn't listed under what we already have in the operating budget.
So that goes back to that capital improvement plan. Maybe
Yep.
we can bring that up next week. Where we designate funding sources for
Yep.
some of those different things. So the things designated as budget are in the FY '27 budget. And then things such as painting, because is very important, because it's amazing what a coat of paint can do. But like, we kind of put the funding to that as like, that's something we can look at within the year funds. So like.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I just want to bounce it off. That's all.
Yeah, I think it's good to double check those things, make sure we're doing that, because that's the point of the plan. is that
Right.
we follow it now and do everything on it, so.
All right, what else from business operations?
That's all I had.
That's it. Is the board okay if we
Yes.
let Brooke enjoy the rest of her evening?
Thank you. Guys.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Thank you,
for
Brooke.
sticking out with us. Appreciate the update.
Thank you.
All right, we'll turn it over to Dr. Taylor for curriculum.
All right. It's always busy. Vertical alignment is next Thursday for social studies. So gearing up for that. Excited to work through more things with them. We continue to work through making sure that the Ed 306 updates are incorporated, because those go into effect next year. So making sure that we are in alignment with those, and that was heavily hit with social studies. So we're really gonna dig more into that and make sure we're good there. We are in the process of certifying teachers and support staff for their renewal cycles. So the professional learning coordinators at each building have been working with me each month, and we've been tracking hours and making sure that everybody that's due up for this year's cycle is good to go. Each building admin is certifying those with them this month, and then I'll work with Brian to get them certified and sent over to the state early in April, which is great. As we talked about earlier, the curriculum review committee met today. Today's focus, we looked at, we're updating a lot of policies. So we looked at policy IJK, the supplemental materials policy, which really focuses on film and movie proposals. So we're looking at the updated policy, and we updated the forms that go with that, and have some suggestions for superintendent as it goes before it goes to policy committee. So we did that, and then we looked at some novel and film proposals and talked through some of those, as well as the potential course proposals that might be coming. We're still looking to see if that is going to come or not, so stay tuned.
Suspense.
I know, right? And then the Department of Ed came out with this new consolidated needs assessment for the grants process. They have a consolidated application, so now they came out with this consolidated needs assessment tool that I've been working through, because each ESE8 grant requires some level of needs assessment, but some of our allocations aren't big enough, but it's still a good exercise to go through. So I'm working on getting that done, and then I am going to have a stakeholder group. I know I've been talking about it, but we're actually going to start having a meeting. And Mr. Peoples, I would love for you to join that, because you hit 2 of our needed things as a board member and as a state rep. So that would be wonderful.
You'll be paid double for that.
I'm in.
All right, fantastic. That would be great.
Can you email me the meeting dates?
I absolutely will. And then if anybody else, I know, Dan, you had said that you might be interested in joining that. I know it was a while ago, so I'll include you on the emails.
Sure.
I don't forget, so
Great.
I'll include you on the emails just to see it. We do need a government representative and a community member, so you guys kind of fill couple of those buckets as well as parents. So, I'll let you guys know when that's coming. And assessment season is upon us. I sent out some information in my newsletter this weekend to families about some of the dates upcoming. SAT day is on April 14th, and then we have the SAS window is also open. I am optimistic in seeing how these are gonna go, because we've been having really good conversations around the modulars, the SAS modulars, and I was on a meeting and looking at some data with some teachers earlier, and like I won't call out the grade level, but just looking at the writing, the students are getting threes when none of them were getting threes before on modulars, and they emulate the writing, the SAS writing. So I was really, really excited, because we always get twos, which you get, it's up to 2 points for conventions, but then for evidence and elaboration and organization, you get up to 4 points. 4 is like perfect score, which is really hard to do for anybody, but we were always hitting the 1s and the 2s and never the 3s or the 4s. And to see that we're getting 3s and honor aboves and there was only a couple of students in the class that didn't hit that mark I was really excited.
Encouraging.
That's great.
Are the teachers excited about that?
Yeah, it seems so. Some of the it's hard because sometimes you look at the rubric, and then of course you have to understand that it's AI scoring writing. So sometimes it's very you as a human scorer look at things like, well, why didn't they get that, and why and I actually went through range finding, and I think I've mentioned it here at the board before, where when they first introduced narrative, I was part of a group that kind of calibrated the scoring and pointed out a lot of inconsistencies as far as how things were being scored and then against the rubric. Like some things were getting higher scores than they should have, and then vice versa. So the state still looks for that kind of feedback too. So my question was to the state is actually a question that came from this teacher is, if I manually overwrite a score, because you can do that for the modulars, is that information getting sent back to the to Cambium to let them know, hey, these scores are being overridden, and there's notes as to why. Like, can they see that information? Because I think that would be really helpful for them to see in the field why teachers are adjusting scores, so they could use that for their updating their scoring process. But optimistic about it, and I think it's gonna help that it's they're used to the platform. They're not getting dumped into this platform like, I've never seen this before, what is this, on testing day. They're getting used to the question types, and I think it's gonna be a good thing in the long run. So, and it's also, again, like I keep stressing, it's apples to apples in terms of we're teaching to standards, and this is assessing to standards.
So when will we see the data on that?
On the modulars?
On how they actually, because when is the testing?
Testing is they're going to be doing, the testing window opens in late March, but the schools are doing it, let me pull up that
Usually get the results in the summer.
dates.
Is it summer? I couldn't remember if it was.
Yeah, we don't get so the results come out almost instantaneously. For teachers can see it, we can see it,
What do we
but
get in the summer?
well, they've changed it, and you can see it almost instantaneously, but you don't get your aggregated data.
Got it.
You can get your class data, but you have to wait a little bit to get the district data. But then the state data comes out way late, because we have to go through and certify our data and make sure look for any anomalies and all that kind of stuff. And then, which they've started doing earlier. That's something that I did do in the summertime, which was a lot easier. We asked for that because last fall was when we first had to do it, and doing something like that in the fall when school's just starting up is very difficult with timelines, so they pushed it back.
So that's the second part of my question is, so what's the plan in terms of like processing that information with the teachers?
So that would be something we would do in the fall, because we don't get it in enough time to really digest it and do things. So now that we have the October PD day, that could be something that we could do during that day, because then it's fresh data.
So just
to
out
look
of
at.
curiosity though, like, is there anything lost by the fact that like right now you've been going through, they've been doing the modulars, like it's fresh for them. The kids are going into this, like they're, you know, fresh on prepping the kids for this stuff. Are we losing something by then not really being able to go back and look at it until October when they're now kind of, you know, ushering in a new group of kids and they're getting to know these new group of kids? Like, does that make sense?
Yeah, no, because like I say, when I talk about when we look at the data and we look at the vertical year for instructional purposes and we look at the diagonal for cohort and MTSS tracking. So really when you're thinking about teachers and teaching in May and June, you're wrapping up, you're trying to get everybody through the year. You're in almost survival mode. So having deep data discussions during that time of year, you don't get everybody at their freshest. Does that make sense? So then everybody has had a chance to kind of digest and percolate, and all the teachers look at their data, right? Like they're looking and they're reflecting like, oh, okay, how did my class do, etc. Then I'm excited for to hopefully use, I haven't really had conversations with admin team about using October, kind of floated it, but not official, but that's a really good time to look at that data, and then it's early enough in the year to then make plans, right? Like when we're looking at that vertical instructional piece, we're like, okay, look at how students are doing year over year in this. What are those instructional implications? What does that look like? What are some shifts that I might be able to make this year to make improvements? Does that make sense?
So you have enough time to make some mid-course corrections.
So when are they gonna actually take the test?
So they'll take the test in May. SAS.
SATs though in April.
SAT is on April 14th. But each school, I don't remember exactly, because the elementary spreads it out a little bit and the different grade levels make their schedule. So they do it over the course of a couple of weeks so that students aren't like in complete testing fatigue.
Yeah.
And then the middle school does one a day.
What's the deadline for SAT registration? Do we know?
For this SAT, they all have to take it, so we register for them
Yeah.
because it's the state required testing. So,
Oh, okay.
like we just mass enroll them. We have to chase them down if they don't take it, right? Or we have to get the waiver if they're not going to take it, stuff like that. So, there's no registration for the SAT on this. If they want to take it on their own separately, there's a process for that. So,
That's AP.
Yeah.
That they would have to.
AP is what you have to register for
Register.
right now.
Are we I know, you know, one of our goals is to try to improve performance on that.
Yeah.
Is this one, like, I know Jen had stuff that she would,
Yeah, she met with the juniors.
I know you were buying,
I'm buying them all pizza if they do better.
Yeah.
She met with them, I think it was either last Friday or
Yeah.
the Friday before, one of
think
these
it was
past
last
weeks.
Friday.
Yeah, I think it was last Friday. She met with them during advisory and went over, it was a nice little PowerPoint. I can share it with the board. On the value of standardized testing, she drew the connection between the variety of certificates and programs that you need to do. Like even if you're not college bound, this is why it's important to invest in standardized testing and learn how to do it and stuff like that. It's a really nice presentation. She was pretty transparent with them. This is what, you know, no offense to the current seniors, but this is what the current seniors got. Let's beat them, you know, and like start that pattern of like competition and doing better and stuff like that. So hopefully that sunk in. It seemed to be a positive meeting. She had a good feelings about it afterwards and stuff, so.
So hopefully we can get a report out on that after they, I think it's good for us to start tracking here what the efforts have been, and.
Well, we have been tracking, right, through various.
No, but I'm
data,
just saying, we're making new efforts now to try to like really boost that. I just think I don't want to lose sight of that.
Right, just changing assessment culture and mindset, right? Like they're giving the purpose, because humans by nature need to know why for things, and that includes kids. Sometimes we forget that. And so by giving them that why and setting that purpose and the tone of this is important and it is valuable to you, and help them with goal setting themselves, so that they're aware, and then they set goals like, oh, here I am now, here's where I want to be, here's where I could be, and so that they strive to that. Like that is all really a great way to just improve that mindset.
Well, thank you for all you're doing again in curriculum. We're really looking forward to continuing to move the needle and improve across the district. That's obviously one of the district goals that we've talked about now for a couple of years. I'd like to start continuing to build upon all the hard work that you're establishing for us as a district.
Oh, great. It's great momentum.
All right. Any other questions?
No.
No? Okay. We have the public minutes from February 4th, 18th, and March 4th. We
So-
will do these individually.
Okay. So there's two that you, me, and Peter.
So
There's one-
check me on this. I believe February 4th is the one that I was absent on.
Correct.
I believe February 18th was the one that
I was absent on.
Mr. Shoemaker was absent on. In March 4th, I believe it was the one that Mr. DeWitt was absent on.
That is
So
correct.
I will make a motion to approve the public minutes for February 4th.
Okay, so we have a motion by Mr. Shoemaker for the approval of February 4th. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Plansky. Additional discussion on those minutes? Okay. All those in favor of approving February 4th, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Aye. So that carries 302.
That's good, that was right.
We're really doing our math here.
Yep.
Okay.
Helping you out over here.
Thank you.
So now it's you three for the next.
Right, so for February 18th, Mr. Plansky, can you make a motion on this one?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of the February 18th meeting.
Okay,
I will second.
thank you. Additional discussion on February 18th? Okay, all those in favor of approving February 18th, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Aye.
That carries 302.
And I'll make a motion to approve the public minutes for March 4th, 2026.
And I will second that. So we have a motion by Mr. Shoemaker, and second by myself for March 4th. Additional discussion on those minutes? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Aye.
That carries 302. Look
Well
at
done.
us.
Well
Look at-
done,
Look at
guys.
us.
Great.
Little victories, Brian, little
That's a
victories.
little victory. All right, and I'm sure Jan Sullivan's very happy that we got those minutes. All right, we have policies now. Nothing for first read, but the board did review several policies, more in alignment with NHSBA, that are on for second read and final approval tonight. Were there any questions on the policies? I'll just list them out. Policy IGE, parental objections to specific course materials. Policy JICD, student conduct, discipline, and due process. Policy JJJ, access to public school programs by non-public, charter school, and home educated pupils. Policy JLCB, which is the immunization of students, which had, I believe, the most edits, correct?
Yeah, let me remember.
Yeah,
First one.
and policy JRA, student records and access.
Yeah, that had the most. I could revamp that one.
I'm just looking at the immunization one real quick.
There's more information in there compared to what we had. And I think, Mr. Peoples, correct me if I'm wrong, there was at one point a bill connected to different things related to immunization coming through at some point?
Yes, I
Oh,
think that one
so-
failed.
Okay, so never mind. I know I wanted to get it aligned to school board, so if there were changes, we were prepared to
Yeah,
to
I
be
think that
okay
one
with
failed.
it.
It doesn't list the immunizations that are required in the policy.
It does not, no, because it can change at the laws, so we just follow whatever the RSA connected to it
Yeah.
is.
No
Well,
question.
I'll make a motion to approve for second read and final approval, policy IGE, policy JICD, policy JJJ, policy JLCB, as well as policy JRA.
Second.
Motion by myself, second by Mr. Shoemaker. Additional discussion on those policies? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Aye.
That carries 4-0-1. All right, I'll turn it back over to the superintendent tonight for some old business, including enrollment in GMS.
Yep, not too much difference in enrollment. I'm gonna do a pitch. To be honest, I'm a little worried about kindergarten enrollment. We're only at 55 right now.
Because we
We're-
started really fast, right?
What's that? We
Didn't-
started really fast.
Really
yeah,
quick.
And we've kind of slowed down. So we're gonna kind of send everything out, through social media on our websites. I know I've mentioned it in my newsletter each week, but maybe moving that back near the top of the list again. Based upon the equivalent, like, births in town, like when we go backwards to look at the school year, we were projecting around 80, a little over 80 kids in kindergarten, because this was a higher birth rate year than in previous years, so we're not seeing the kindergarten numbers get there yet. Still only March, but looking at historically, there have been some years where you've had higher enrollment in kindergarten by this point. So, monitoring it, do my pitch here at the board. If you gonna have a kindergarten age student next year, please reach out to us. We will help you through the registration process. It is online on our website, but we're happy to go through it if there's any issues with it that you have, especially if you're new to having kids in the district and setting up the accounts that you need for it and everything associated with it. So we are here to help. But monitoring that, and hopefully that goes up. So
I mean, the Shoemaker Family Feeder Program will start. And it'll carry through like 2030.
Well, that's
we appreciate it. We appreciate it.
How do we compare to last year at this time?
We're only slightly above, which
I'm
is
not
what's
in
worrisome.
students.
You can see our numbers right there. We're in the low 60s right now, right? So
What's our staff ratio to student for kindergarten?
right now we have 4 kindergarten teachers, so
Right.
it's 14 to 16 kids in our
14
class
to
right now.
16
So, and which is solid for kindergarten, right? You wouldn't want to make that 3 and have over 20 kids, in the kindergarten classes. So that's the right number. Previous years, when you look at the historical, you've had as many as 5 kindergarten teachers when it's gone to, 80, high 80s in the number of kids that you have there and stuff. So this is why it's kind of crucial to know what we're dealing with in kindergarten. If we have to make shifts around and who's teaching what, right? Like I said, we have 4 kindergarten teachers right now, so if we get into that low 60s again, all right, everyone stays where they are. If that number got to that 80 number, like, we have to shift things around, right, potentially, and add 5th sections of kindergarten, so on and so forth. So that's why we asked for this so far in advance, because of the programming we have to do around it. Yeah, go from there, so.
All right, well, we'll continue to monitor and certainly looking forward to an update at the next board meeting.
GMS, I actually touched on it at the way back beginning of the meeting, but, so I might just be repeating myself. We're meeting with Harriman and Harvey tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock, to go over a whole list of things related to the building project. We'll do a presentation out on it at FIC next week on it.
Okay.
I'll have a much more greater detail at the next board meeting, from the results of that. They just wrapped up all their stuff they've been doing with projects that need to get approved, not approved right now. So they're putting their focus back on us now that they've kind of got stuff wrapped up in voting at town meetings and other places. Schedule what we're going to do this spring, prioritizing what our requests are in terms of specifics around what we're getting, right? Like, we're focusing on that option 1B. What is it really, like, drilling down to the detail of the costs associated with it, right? Like, what is the cost of the windows, if, for example, if this is what we're going for.
We need to be
What-
defendable to the taxpayers and what all that is.
and like have all those details, and then comparisons of different models and different things associated with that. So that's the work. We're gonna get started with them, restarted back up tomorrow.
As well as the swing space, right? And what
Yeah.
does the timeline and the phasing look like? And how are they gonna approach that?
Yeah. I think what we saw, I know, like it was a different board member each one. When we went to the 55-plus communities, we touched on the project at each of those, and you can tell people are interested, and I think would appreciate coming back and having
So-
additional
Yeah, I thought
conversations.
Yes.
the one, I mean, I thought it was effective, though. I only did the one, but I thought it was very effective with the.
we all
folks.
did.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I think doing that with the building is gonna be very helpful.
So what Mr. Cutter found that he circulated to all of us in terms of the outreach that they did in Hollis was phenomenal.
Yeah, yeah,
wow,
for that long, the
wow.
video they made,
It
the
was
different,
incredible.
the details, the explanations of everything they were doing, it was
So
good.
I don't know, how
I
we
was
get
just,
that.
I was
but-
just chatting with the Hollis principal today. Unfortunately, they did not have a successful vote in Hollis, but,
But nonetheless, right? Like no matter where,
Nonetheless.
no matter where you're at, I think that hit everything that we've needed to try to communicate, but in a very effective way. I think whether your community is at the point that it's ready to recognize that there's a need or not is
Right.
can't change that. But so if we could engage whoever did that, I think it'd be money well spent. And I think the sooner we do that, the better, because ultimately this is our time when we're supposed to be really.
so let's
trying to
reach out and
capitalize
see
on
what, see
outreach.
what's involved with something like that. Right. The thing when you connect with Harriman and Harvey that I certainly want to drive is timeline. And I know that's
Yeah.
certainly on your agenda, but I would really like to push towards having everything buttoned up by that October timeframe.
Yeah.
So we can get in front of the voters in time, we can get in front of the budget committee in time. Everyone has time to review and really think about structurally what a bond payment looks like. And we can collectively, as a unit, school and town, with representation of the budget committee, say, yes, this is the right plan for the town.
We need to get it out early.
October, that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when we start talking about budgets and,
Get 5 or 6 months before election day.
yeah.
One last thing we got, I know we obviously didn't have the project on for this past vote, but we still get informed of the bond rates and everything kind of for this upcoming year to keep, because we're exploring it and everything. The bond rate this year was much lower than the previous year, so that's a positive trend for us. Hopefully that trend continues when we bring this next year. 2 years ago, I think it was 4.3, it was over 4 something for 20-year bonds. And the numbers that they're doing in this cycle for bonds is 3.43 for a 20-year bond, so that's a good improvement. Hopefully that trend continues, so when we're going, hopefully for this next March, the numbers will be more favorable to us for bonds.
So the only other question I think is, and I know that at the state they haven't figured out funding for stuff like this yet, but so have they paused like the list?
There's no school funding.
Don't think about the state.
There's no list.
We didn't fund it. It's not in the, so in this biennium right now, there's no money in it. Only to pay for the
Right.
tail, which is the committed money.
So have they paused taking people applying even though they didn't fund it?
No, I don't believe they have.
So we can renew our letter.
Well, so
Right.
here's my question, right? Like at some point, if we're moving away from a new building, which we have,
Yeah.
does it make sense to be putting in for a renovation project to get on the list?
We can check. I'm gonna put
It
the,
doesn't
They
hurt to be on the list.
it doesn't
Right,
hurt.
But right now, we're on a list for a new construction project, right? And we're in a good position for that, but we're not proposing that, and there doesn't seem that that will be what we propose. So, does it make sense to, are we burning time that we could be on a list, moving up a list for renovation?
So even looking at the way that's structured and how they approve projects, because right now, the process for approval for a project is about as stupid as it gets. It really, that's the only way to describe it. It really is. I mean, we're sitting behind a $48 million project. We're never, the most they fund that is 50 million. We're not gonna see that money. It's just not gonna get to us. And it's founded by all those things, well, we have a building and we're on the list and we've been sitting there. It has nothing to do with need. So whether you need it or not, if you're on the list, you're gonna get your funding when it comes, if they ever fund it, if they keep funding that area of the budget. Everybody's pushing to get it back to, we have projects that need to be done, right? There's a need. There's a demonstrated need for life, safety, education, there's a need to get this project done. And whether they make you park on a list like that forever by allocating the grant money by needs. And I think we stand a much better chance in that, if that all makes it.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that we're if we're gonna have to be in a line to wait, we might as well get in line.
Yeah, we
I thought
can
they were
reach
gonna
out to
change
the,
it so it could be for renovations too, not just new builds.
Not just new
Well,
builds, yeah.
it
And
already is able to be
you
done.
can do that, but you can only have one project at a time.
Time.
So like, we can't, because the building on the list is a new build right now, if we were to propose a renovation, which is obviously the direction we're headed in, you take that off the list and you come back on at the bottom, right? Because it's completely new, in their eyes, a new application. So, I know that much, but I'll reach out to, the facilities person in the DOE.
Yeah, I should know his name, and I don't.
I
I've
don't know
only
off
met
the
him
top
one
of my
time.
head. He's new in the past like 6 months and
Just
stuff, so,
something we should be aware of.
Yeah, it is one thing that we've had discussions in education funding about, because it's silly the way they're doing it. And it's not helping. As well as there's projects that did not get funded that districts went and did them out of ban. So when there was a moratorium on building, they went and did their projects anyway. Now they keep coming back, trying to get that project funded in arrears. So that's been complicating the issue a little bit too.
So, Brian, with your meeting with Harriman and Harvey tomorrow, I would like to see if we can't figure out meeting schedule with the community project team that has met with them before.
Yep.
Agree.
And do we know how many of their projects got approved through this cycle?
No, I can ask them though tomorrow, just to see how they did.
That may impact our schedule.
Yeah, I don't know what they bid on either, so.
I think they had a Nashua project, is the one that was at least most local to us. I don't know what they had like out of state and stuff, but I think that was the big New Hampshire one they were working on.
Did that pass?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. I was so happy about us. Like, I just like kind of, you know.
I don't think Nashua votes yet because they're a city of their
I
own.
think
Oh,
the
they
last
haven't
couple of
done
weeks
that.
were busy
Yeah.
for everybody.
Yeah, okay. All right, anything else on old business this evening? All right, we have the manifest. We have accounts payable for $54,873.90. Another accounts payable of $133,753.90. Another accounts payable of $53,683.58, and a fourth accounts payable of $39,703.74. We have the payroll manifest of $373,794.43, a 403B of $8,626.53, as well as a credit card manifest of $4,814.58. Thank you to Ann, who does a tremendous job putting all those manifests together for us and sends it to the board in advance for us to review. So, much appreciated. Any other questions, manifest or other? All right, we have our second community input this evening. Since there's nobody running up to the mic, we're going to close our second round of community input, and I'll turn it over to school board for comments. What do we have?
I want to say thank you to the voters and the community for continuing to fund and help improve our school district.
I would agree, and I'd sort of say again that the band concert and the senior day on Saturday was fantastic. Good time was had by all.
Excellent. And I'll add the chorus concert because I attended that one. That was truly amazing again. And I did give LMS a shout out too for the Winnie Dip once more. So congratulations there. Big success. What else? Anything else, Matt? Ray, from your side?
Me, just like to thank the staff for a great onboarding experience on Monday, and the time the superintendent took to chat with me. And, it was really easy.
Did they get a picture of you?
No. So we're gonna need to work on that.
Do you know anybody who takes photos?
No. Maybe teaching.
All right, we'll close school board comments. Thank you again to the voters, as everyone said, right? We really do appreciate and are super grateful for the support of the schools during town voting this year. We do have some non-public business this evening under RSA 91A3, A through C. This does conclude the public portion of our meeting. With that, I'll entertain a motion to move into non-public.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Shoemaker.
Second.
Second by Mr. Plansky. This is a roll call vote.